A walk on the E&N Railway at Westholme, BC. This walk starts at mile 47.8 of the E&N Railway's Victoria Subdivision at the level crossing of Chemainus Road, and I walk south down to about mile 45.7, 45.8 or so, and then head on back. Here's the big picture map of the area, geographically southern Vancouver Island, and the little red circle is the specific area of my walk. Now here's an overall rail map, and my starting point is near the top of the map at the level crossing, mile 47.8, heading on down, and my turnaround, like I said, was about 45.8 or so, where the railway is very close to Highway 1. And in the upper corner, this little bit of red marks my part of the hike on the Crofton Spur, and that's actually going to be part of a separate video, which I will put up as well shortly, either just before this video or just after this video on my YouTube channel. Near the turnaround point of my hike, I'm looking for the area where a mining railway used to have a trestle that covered the E&N Railway, seen in this photo here. And I wasn't sure if the trestle crossed the railway so that the mining railway could get to the other side, or if it was just a dumping trestle like this photo shows. I still am not quite sure, and that's okay. I concluded in my walk that it's okay not to know definitively about everything. I was just enjoying my day. Here I am on Chemainus Road, approaching the level crossing around mile 47.8 or so. Right now I'm on the lands of the Esquimalt First Nation. So this level crossing, I normally go northward to the Chemainus River Bridge, but today I'm going south. I'm going for a walk of about 2 miles along the E&N Railway from here down to mile 46. Mile 47.8 here is the level crossing. Was the site of a water tower, long gone. Looking north towards the lovely through truss bridge around the corner, and looking south. So, water tank area behind me, and coming up at mile 47.5 is the Y junction to the old Osborne Bay Subdivision Crofton Spur. And here's about the spot of the junction, going off straight down through there to the right. Here's a private level crossing on the Esquimalt First Nation. There's some really nice ballast in this area, and around mile 47.4, 47.3, something like that. Good ballast usually means tough walking for me, but hey, the railway is more important than me. Here's the whistle sign coming up to Westholme Road, level crossing. I think that's the name of the road, but it's level crossing around close to mile 47. And on the opposite side of the road is a rather large farm, the Quist family farm, and Quist is the name of the creek that I'll be crossing soon. And as usual, the E&N Railway has a different name for it, and they call it White House Creek. and which has some historical meaning too, because I think there's a White House bed and breakfast on the highway close by, but shows up as Quist Creek on some charts I've seen, White House on others. That's why I love this. There's so much variety and different ways of looking at things. I also love how built up this grade is here. There's a lot of flooding that happens around here just from rainwater, swampy areas. I'll sure be seeing a lot of that on the other side of the level crossing. But none here right now, but nicely built up with lots of ballast. Here's milepost 47. So just north of the level crossing. It's a better look and better light looking north. The Vancouver Island natural gas pipeline follows the E&N closely in some areas, and here's an example. So I see a lot of those yellow sticks as the markers. It's mile 46.9 at Westholme, and let's continue south. I got Quist Farm on my right. A little ways up ahead will be a deck plate girder bridge over the creek. So at mile 46.8, which is coming up really soon, two things. There used to be the Westholme Siding there, 692 feet. Years ago, it was known as Hall's Crossing. And there's the deck plate girder bridge coming up. The one that crosses a creek with two names, White House or Carl Quist Creek. Here's the bridge. Here's the creek. Deck plate girder. And you can see that over there. There's the bridge. Nice view of Mount Prevost ahead with that distinct peak. Here's the level crossing for Quist Farm. So the deck plate girder that I just crossed was mile 46.8, and coming up at mile 46.6 is the timber pile trestle. It was rebuilt in 1973. It really just crosses a wetland overflow. That kind of a wetland. Both sides floods quite a bit right around here. Here is the timber pile trestle for the overflow. There are two sets of timber piles, and then an abutment on either end. And looking north. The sun is quite bright right now, so it is impacting my videography and photography. There are times when I try to plan these trips with a lot of precision for the light, and there are other times where I just need a simple day and I decide to go whenever I go. And this is the latter. I just needed an easy day. Perhaps next time I go out, I'll plan the time precisely. But today, I'm just happy to be outside no matter what the light is. So this timber pile trestle, mile 46.6, and then continuing down through the curve will eventually be mile 46.2, which was where the Mount Sicker siding was. That's where I'm looking for ties still in the ground. So that's coming up. But for now, I need to cross this trestle. I like to describe these things structurally. It's the trestle structure because of the supports. However, the function is it's a bridge. It crosses over a body of water. It bridges a gap. I find names and words interesting, and as I get older, I get less hung up, I think, on the precision of them. I just decide to use them however I want as I slowly become a curmudgeon. Now I'm walking where I haven't been before. I've often looked at this area when I've driven by on the highway, just over there, and I've always thought, yeah, I need to explore that area on the railway a bit further from the trestles, and so that's where I'm going. So if I kept going for a couple miles, I'd get to where the highway overpasses the railway, and then if I kept going after that, I'd get to Chemainus Road, but I'm not going that far. Going about another mile or less, looking for evidence of old history. As I go further south, the land to the right of me, the east side of the railway, between the railway and the highway, starts to get more narrow, and eventually there'll be a few houses there, and then the highway will be higher up, which is the area where the mining railway was high enough to cross over on a trestle or have a dumping trestle. I'm not sure if it was both or just one of those. And now a nice straightaway, perhaps setting me up for the old Mount Sicker siding. Who knows? Speculation galore for me, armed with a few ideas from history books and comments from Facebook groups. I'm going to see what it looks like for myself. And now the land on the west side here is sufficiently built up that the siding could have been there. So perhaps I'm near the spot. Oh yeah, I am, because look at that right there. Those are ties. This is the Mount Sicker siding. It's a tie right there. And they just continue on. Cool. Now I just have to look for good photographs. That's a great photograph right there. Shows it. Looking south. So here's the end of the siding. Some of the old ties in the ground. My shadow. I'll walk past and show you. There are the ties. Yeah. So the siding was 1,825 feet long, and I think I'm at the north end, so it'll go down for a while. Let's just walk into it some more. Now I'm not going to see any evidence here because of all the overgrowth. I'm glad that there's immediate evidence, so now I can just enjoy knowing where I am. Now it would be really nice if I could see a mile 46 post, just to tell me where exactly that is, because that's where there used to be the Westholme lumber spur off the E&N, long gone, as well as that's where the Lenora Mount Sicker Railway had a trestle that went over or just to the E&N line, or maybe it was both. Here's a nice little creek with a culvert crossing. Lovely. And the mile 46 sign is up ahead. So I know where I am now. I'm looking north now. The land here is built up right here, so that very well could have been the spur going through for the lumber company. Just guessing. So the ground to the west is built up, so there very well could have been the mining railway coming over top here. I think it's just going to be all guesswork. Mining railways are a whole different thing for me. Whole different can of worms, are just endless learning, researching, and I'm nowhere near there yet. I'm having too much fun with the E&N. I'm getting close to the highway overpass, so I think I'm about ready to turn around. No conclusive evidence of the old trestle for the mining railway. That's okay. Lots of areas where it's like, yeah, it could have been here, could have been there, but I'm not going to see any old pilings on the ground. And that's looking north. Highway is just up to my left. And now I get to enjoy a nice walk back, probably with better lighting. There I am. So there's rocks built up here, which could have been where the railway crossed over. And I can say that for the rocks further up ahead as well. Here's another tall rock outcropping beside. Too high for the railway crossing. There's an old pole there, but it's probably an old telephone pole or telegraph pole from somewhere. So I'm right at the mile 46 post, looking east. And down there, there's some timbers, but I'm assuming that they are old tree branches or just old ties. And then through there, some alder trees, which are an indication perhaps there was a road there, railroad. But really difficult to tell, and just really speculation and swamp. Weeds and swamp and the unknowns. So I'm not sure even what I would be looking for, because I don't even know if the old trestle crossed or it was just a platform for dumping materials onto cars of the E&N below. But what I do know is I'm walking north on the E&N Railway, and soon I'll be at the old Mount Sicker Siding again, and then a trestle. I'm at the south end of Mount Sicker Siding, and here are the ties in the ground. One of them right there. Pardon the shadow. Just continue on through here. I heard what I thought was a barking sound. Expected a dog on a farm, and it's actually the honk of some trumpeter swans, which I suppose the word for the sound is then a trumpet sound. weather is starting to cloud over, which is good for getting rid of my bright sun problem for photography, but bad in terms of possibility of me getting rained on. Also though, I'm going to work a photo with Mount Prevost, the distinctive peak in the background and the railway. I just have to go through a bit more curve so that I can look and have Mount Prevost peak right above the middle of the railway. I'm not there yet. Here's the timber frame trestle. I've played under this before doing some photographs. I'll put one up here. Up and down. There's some reflection. Okay, time to make tracks for the bridge, the level crossing, and then explore that Osborne Bay Crofton Spur South Leg. Here's Quist's farm, level crossing. There's the farm. And beyond that is Carl Quist's Creek, also known as White House Creek. Okay, leave this area behind, head back north.